Hello everybody and welcome back to One Hub Racing. We are here for the Prestige tier in Season 12 and this is round 10, the home of the league in Britain, and alongside me in the commentary box is Alex. Alex, welcome to the commentary box.
Hello, hello.
It's good to be here for the Prestige tier. Jack is running late, so I thought I'd jump in and get the stream started. Apologies that we missed qualifying. But if Jack comes online, we'll get him in the party as well, and we'll have all three of us commentate on what has already been two fantastic races in both podium and the pinnacle tier tonight. Last corner finish it was in the pinnacle race, so two drivers went toe to toe. The last couple of corners, it was fantastic to watch. But right now, Alex, you've got about 30 seconds to talk us through what happened in the whole qualifying.
So qualifying started off normal. Noak the early lead, but then as time went on, you saw people like Julian go up the grid. He actually in his first lap was out of the top 10, so he really put it together. A weird strategy for me was, I believe, it was James Slater who went on the hard compound tyres to do his qualifying and was completely off the pace in his first run. So that was an interesting one. He was the only one to do that. But Jesse is the surprise to me up top. He's very good in qualifying, but seems to that race pace. Hopefully he can get that sorted today and get the win, but Julian second looks very beautifully poised to get the victory.
Alrighty, well, Julian leading the standings, of course, here at the Prestige tier in this season. But Odems, who joined during qualifying, is going to be starting at the back. We've also got a few new drivers. We've got Ollie, we've got Praga, and who else we got? Joined McSendit's joined a couple weeks ago, but this is his first race after he missed the first couple races after joining. But Alex, let's get this one underway. It's giving me a rubbish camera angle. There we go. The 5 red lights are coming on here in Britain. Let's get the race underway at Silverstone. And away we go. It looks like a clean start from the front two. Lots of wheel spin in the background. Are they all going to keep it clean through turn 1? Very high speed corner. And Julian's already challenging the Haas driver. The Ferrari driver went slightly wide. It all looks clean so far. You got a Sauber trying to go down the inside. I think that's Blizzard. Yeah, yellow flags in the background. There's another Haas driver spun round. Touches the McLaren. Both McLaren and the Toro Rosso involved in that one, as most of them get through cleanly. But yeah, Elku having the worst start of all, down 10 places already. Ollie having the best start, up 6. And Alex, did you catch anything there that I might have missed?
Odems and Wayne were also caught in the issue. Those were the drivers. Sorry start there for Odems, unfortunately. Not really anything out of the ordinary. McSendit got into second place as well. Blizzard already up to third. Good start from him. Jesse, as I said, goes down to 4th. I don't really know what it is with Jesse. He's very, very good in the qualifying pace. I think it's maybe a bit nerves, Nick. Obviously, leading the British Grand Prix, one of the biggest Grand Prix of the season. Do you think that might have got to Jesse a little bit?
Blizzard's had a mistake there. The Ferrari in the background of Noak's also had a mistake. So they're both going to lose places as they exit the Magnus Beckers complex and head down towards the hangar straight. Both Sauber drivers very close together, and it's fantastically close so far at the end of lap 1, as now looks like Blizzard's trying to come down the inside of Josh. Josh gives him room. Blizzard goes off the track and Josh keeps the position for now. So yeah, Julian leads away at the moment, but the gaps aren't too big at all as Elku gets ahead of Odems, who's in the pit lane. So presumably he'll either two-stop it or go on to the hard tyres and try and go to the end of the race. Either way, he's going to be in for a long night in the Prestige tier here, as McSendit pulls a gap just over a second of Jesse. As you mentioned, as the two Saubers are going to go toe-to-toe down the hangar straight. DRS, of course, isn't activated until they finish this lap 2, and Blizzard going to get the job done. Down the inside, Josh tries to keep it, just give each other room. They make contact, little bit of sliding as they exit left field. Fantastic, never-ending corner, and they're still going to go side by side. Is one of them going to give each other space into cops?
Normally, yeah, that's what happens. Josh and Blizzard are very good teammates. We've been used team orders, it seems, early on in the season. And Nick, I want to put your attention to this. Noah, who is in second place, is in 8th spot at the minute. He's second in the championship. But that is even a massive gap, Julian. If I'm Julian, I'm very, very excited at the minute, seeing my biggest rival down in 8th spot.
Yeah, definitely, but I think it's too early for Julian to be focusing on that. Look at Josh trying to go toe-to-toe with his teammate, and he does get the job done back ahead. So you said there were team orders early in the season. There's certainly nowhere to be found here in today's race. So as we flick through the field, we can see that Ollie's doing a good job in his first race, hanging on to these guys in the sister Red Bull of Odems, and he's not too far ahead. And you got Praga in 9th position as well, also his first race at One Hub Racing. Francis, we are hearing, was having shift problems on his car. MLA is also in this battle. So look, it's just a train, Alex, and we've seen this in the prestige tier throughout the season because it's been so close. And we've got it here again tonight as Elko is onto those hard compound tires, and presumably he's going to go to the end of the race. We saw that in the pinnacle tier earlier on as Blizzard gets back past his teammate. I believe, yes, that was Luffield.
One thing that we don't normally see, at least in the later half of the races, Julian normally starts to go the gap and extend it though. In his first One Hub race, is completely on the back of the World Championship leader. We could be in for an exciting one here. But Jesse is slowly falling back. However, the thing for me is the squabbling of the Salmers is helping out those top two boys. You know that Blizzard and Josh are very, very fast drivers, and if they're still squabbling,
Francis is off. Sorry, Alex. Francis had to cut the last part of the Magus Beckett's complex and doesn't lose too much time. I believe he lost a position or two. But you mentioned, it was James Slater and Praga. They're having a ding-dong through Stowe, one of my favourite corners on the entire calendar. MLA is ahead of This Is Wayne. Is he going to send it back down the inside? No, thinks better of it. Odems is bringing up the rear with Elku just a couple seconds behind, having made his stop. So Blizzard gets ahead of Colin Rafa now that he's changed his PSN name. So the McLaren driver not giving up on that one yet. But of course you got Josh there as well. So in a Sauber sandwich at the moment. Scott Fielder is having a battle with Praga down the back too.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting race to come because you've got Blizzard in P4, and as I was saying before, he's very, very fast. So if he can get past Jesse, he could easily join the top 5 yellows in Sector 1. Wayne's out.
What on earth has happened there? All right, aboard. That's got to be surely something to do with the corner. Abbey, it's such a high-speed corner. One mistake and you'll be in the wall. We'll see if we can look out for the orange McLaren. I can't see him anywhere. Can you? I can't see any debris or anything. So
no.
It's somewhere in that first sector. We know that for sure.
Strange one. Unfortunate for Wayne. He seems to have moments of greatness this season. He's not been consistent enough. But when he's on, he's on. Speaking of which, MLA is currently going to try and overtake both Williams, or at least one it seems, as he goes past Praga. But he's in that slipstream scope fielder. Praga, they're not going to give him much space. Praga goes back down the inside as MLA goes to the outside. He can turn to the inside, the next corner. Still side by side. And Praga has to get MLA the room. Good job by MLA there. And he will now continue to chase the race. And see
good to see them. Good to see them both being clean as well. As a new driver coming into a league like Praga, you know, that's something that you relish. You want to see. You want to test out. Put your feet in the water, and you know, if you can see that, you know, the racing's clean, then it gives you a definite, you know, mindset to build upon when you're joining a new league. That's for sure. But up at the front, Ollie is still on the back of Noek. So Ollie talking down his chances to join the top tier at One Hub Racing. But I'm doing a good job in the points at the moment. Highest scoring Red Bull after Odems had to come into the pits. But Jesse in 4th position, and McSendit not giving up on that lead. And McSendit's a driver who, of course, is a race premium driver, but a driver I really like. I think he's a really good guy, really clean, really fair, and just generally he's one of those drivers that, as you know, a league owner, I love to have in the league. So it's fantastic to see him black. But look at Jesse all over the back of Blizzard at the moment.
It's like a train. Obviously, they're supposed to try to break up the slipstream. But you don't. There's a lot of a split grid. I wouldn't really imagine MLA being down in 12th position. That's the big surprise for me. Is now he's going to try and take over the other Williams and Stoke Fielder. Will he get enough room? He's side by side, and Stoke Fielder just runs out of circuit there, unfortunately, and has to let MLA through.
Praga's just behind this battle as well, so there's no margin for error.
Yeah, and I think for Praga, I think being in 13th to this point, obviously it's very early doors, I think a good goal for him, being it's his first race here in one hub, is just to beat his teammate Scope Builder. Scope Builder seems to be on the fringe of the points at every race, so for Praga to just beat his teammate today, I think will give him a good confidence boost going into the next one.
Yeah, definitely confidence is something you love to carry through a a long championship season like this. Full race calendar here at F1 TS Hub this season. Praga and his teammate are of course on different compounds of tyres, so the softs maybe past their best, but he's thinking about going down the inside. And beautiful helicopter shot we have here in Silverstone. You can see all the action going on off track in the background, but Luffield, fantastic long sweeping corner. Now that's really like a horseshoe in a sense, the shape of it. And I've sat in the grandstand there, and it's fantastic to see the cars go side by side. And these Williams drivers really putting on a show at the moment as they head through Maggots and Beckett's. This is a series of corners which every driver loves to throw the car into. You want the maximum downforce, but you don't want to give away too much straight line speed. Alex, talk us through this one down the hangar straight. These Williams boys.
Right now I think, here comes Praga at the inside. I was going to say maybe Praga won't go for the move, seeing as he's on the other compounds, but completely took the words out of my mouth here. But here comes Scope Fielder, he backs off. He's going to wait for a better time, I think. Good idea. Not going to hold up his teammate, because Praga, if he is on those worn softs, he's making that much pace. He could be with a tactical point. But my point I was going to make is that Blizzard, although McSendit's dropping off Julian, he's catching McSendit. So I don't know whether that's the fact that Blizzard is the fastest guy on track right now, but Blizzard is on his way. He's making the charge.
No one seems to be really making inroads in the DRS zone. We can see Ollie, is he going to think about something there? No, Revenant up in gear 7 as he follows Noik. He'll be sick and tired of that Ferrari already after only completing 6 laps of this race, and still the lead with under a second. That's what we want to see. Julian's had a couple wins that have been quite easy this season, but you have to say this isn't shaping up to be one of those.
Without question, and I think if any man has got the most confidence in the world, it is Julian. I think that might just tip him over in terms of this little battle, because this is his first race of the season, so this is a very much different strokes for these two drivers. Julian, I wouldn't say had it easy, because it's never easy in the Prestige chair. You've seen the races, Nick, but he's had it a lot smoother than other drivers have in terms of getting a championship, especially in the last one. It reminds me of last season, the podium team of Marie Flo, just slowly building a gap towards the other people in the field. But McSendit coming in, a new driver, he's saying, I don't care about the status quo, I want to change things up, and he's going to try it.
We're ready to have things changed up. Speaking of changing things up, Jesse's trying to change positions here and get on the podium at the moment. He's really hounding Blizzard, who doesn't seem to have the pace that he had early on in the season. And behind, you've got his teammate hounding the McLaren driver, Rafa. So yeah, Josh is really close. They're both really close. Is anyone going to make a move? Ollie's really close. Is he going to make a move? No one at the moment. Praga comes into pits for a set of hard tyres, so he'll be going to the end of the race on that set of compound. Be interesting to see where he comes out in comparison to Odems, who's been on those medium tyres now for a little while. Will Odems gain a position here? Yes, he...
No.
No, he won't. No, he won't. So that just shows you how much time he lost.
Scope Builder!
Where on earth is that? That's coming onto the Wellington straight. He's lost it. Is it inside or outside wall? I can't see.
I'm going to follow Praga through him, see whether we can catch it.
Where is he? Where has he lost it?
Oh, Jesse on Blizzard. Jesse on Blizzard. Jesse's got the move done.
I missed that one. I really want to see where Scope Fielder is. On the exit of Luffield. So what on earth? Where? I can't see a car. I can't see the Williams. So we'll have to leave that one for there at the moment. But McSendit's come into the pits, which is why he's dropped down. So has VSR Blizzard, and so has MLA. So all three of these front runners into the pits for a set of medium compounds, you presume, on all of them. We'll have to wait and see. McSendit exits the pit already. So McSendit's going for the undercut on Julian. That's really going to put some pressure on the Mercedes driver. Josh is meanwhile can't put enough pressure on Rafa, who isn't giving an inch as they head down the Wellington straight, and I know that yourself and Jack always come into the commentary chat after the Prestige race. Alex, you're out of breath, out of energy, because it just drains you how exciting this top tier race is.
We always go into it like they're not going to top last week, and somehow they do. As you can see, the top 6, we've got battles going on. Obviously, with Julian, it's not an on-track one. It's more where he'll come out within the realms of where extend it, whether the undercut works. But you can see now that is a point. Now that this has come in, Rafa is within the DRS of Jesse. He's just got out now, but he did get DRS on Jesse. So within this lap, he's been able to catch Jesse. And here comes Julian. Julian's in the pits. It's going to be an exciting one. Let's find out what happened.
This is going to be really close to see where he comes out. Is Mixendit in traffic? No, Mixendit does have clean air, so as long as he's got those medium tires up to temperature as quickly as he can. And who else is in the pits? We can see that Julian is in, and so is Jesse, so is Rafa, and so is Josh. So those 4 deciding it's time to come into the pits. And no, it continues on this soft, and then there's a few medium runners that jump ahead. But let's keep an eye on this one. This is going to be very close between Julian, who's just coming to the pit lane exit now. Mixendit's coming down the pit straight. This is going to be so close, Alex.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to.
He's just going to come out ahead, but he doesn't have the speed. And he needs to get those tyres up to temperature. Mixendit's going to send one. He's already gone defensive as Julian. This is going to compromise his exit onto Wellington Straight. DRS is going to be available for Mixendit. This is surely going to be his best chance to get this move done.
He's going to go for it in the slipstream. He's going around the outside. Doesn't make that one turn to the inside. Side by side they go.
Bit of wheel touching there, you can see the smoke coming off. Julian's going to try and get the cut back, but you have to say Mixendit's got the temperature in those tyres. We know Julian, he won't give it up.
He's in hot lap mode as we speak. He doesn't want to let this go. He's got to be careful through here. Dirty air can mess you up through this section. Lizard has dropped back a little bit in the pit stop zone, and Rafa and Jesse are going at it. But right now, Mixendit, he made the right call, and hopefully Julian can get his tyres warmed up really soon to get back on track. Right now though, Rafa and Jesse, could be a move happening now. Let's keep eyes on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Rafa's going to go down the inside, slings it down. That's what I love about this corner. You can outside, inside. There's you really struggle to find an advantage. But yeah, we'll have to see. It just looks so exciting as Blizzard sets the fastest lap of the race, and this one's just going to continue on.
I just want to point out, even though I know it's not on merit, but Ollie is leading his first race in one hub racing. I know it's due to pit stops, but great race from Ollie, put himself there. Also, to point out to the fans watching at home, Black Mamba, he got a one race ban, so that's why we're not seeing him today. Which could affect the constructors quite heavily if Noah can't get up the field.
Yeah, Black Mamba obviously involved in, a lot of incidents, and the stewards decided to hand him a stage 2 driver code penalty. Driver code being, something that all drivers have to agree to when signing up to race with us at One Hub Racing, and it's really just to ensure fairness on and off track and respect on and off track as well. So, yeah, he'll miss this one, and he'll be back next week hopefully, and we can, because he is a good driver, he is quick. And we've seen some fantastic races from him, particularly strategic races from him so far this season. So, yeah, we'll get him back hopefully next week, and he'll put on a good show for us. But speaking of good show, we've got one right in front of us. VSR Joss versus Jesse now, 0.3 of a second. It feels like these gaps have been under half a second, most of the race.
That's the thing I love about Britain, and unfortunately I missed my race in the podium here today. There's a lot of fun with it. This circuit, you can keep within the guideline, you can keep within a second of each other. There's a lot of overtaking, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different strategies you can make, whether you want to go on the hard tyres. I personally wouldn't do that, but some people do enjoy that. There's a lot of fun you can have with the circuit, and it's great for the fans as well. It's a great watch for the viewers.
Yeah, it's been Two fantastic races so far in their podium and pinnacle tier. Those are our 7 and 8 p.m. tier. And look at this, Josh coming down the inside. Just both boys giving each other just enough room. Look how close the wheels and front wings get. Look how close the rear and front wheel get. That's respectful driving. And that's exactly what we like to see here at One Hub Racing. Hope you guys are enjoying it at home. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching and you haven't already. But just under 2/10 between these two. It's so hard to follow a car through cops. You lose so much downforce. It's not even necessarily turning. It's that mid-corner grip that just disappears from you because you've lost that. You've lost it in the dirty air. But as you continue, both drivers nab the grass a little bit. And what's not helping Josh here is Jesse's getting DRS from Rafa in front, who has dropped off Blizzard after the pit stops.
One thing to point out is McSendrick's 1.7 seconds ahead of Julian. He's got away, and Blizzard's catching. And Blizzard obviously not second in the championship, but is third. He's definitely fastest as well, and he's got no one to contest with. Rafa's 2.7 seconds back. So if Blizzard's on pure speed, Nick, you know how fast Blizzard is. Blizzard and Julian could be on for another one. I remember their one from Bahrain this year. It was ridiculous. It was great fun. Are we going to see another one like that for the next 12, 11 laps of the race?
I don't think anyone would mind that at the slightest. But yeah, let's not take it away from Ollie, who's leading at the moment. Ahead of Francis, both on the same strategy, as is James Slater. So all three drivers just continuing on their opening stint strategy. Let's have a look and we can get confirmation that it's those three yet to stop. Scopefielder and this is Wayne out of the race here tonight. So we're down to 14 runners out of 16. And we can see that Odems is on 11 lap old mediums as well after stopping on lap 1. So he'll be gutted with tonight's race. You know, he puts in so much practice and so much heart and so much time to the league that, you know, as much as we have banter with him, he's the king of banter. We obviously do want to see him do well, but that's racing, you know, Alex. That's what happens when you step onto track. You put your feet in the car. There's chances that there's going to be incidents, and yeah, it is what it is, and he'll live to fight another day. But we've got plenty left in this race. Lap 14 out of 26. Alex, do you want to run us through the grid order at the moment?
So Ollie, then Francis and then Slater, those three have yet to stop in the current. In the current net race lead, it's McSendrick, then Julian, then followed by Blizzard, Rafa, Jesse, Josh, round out the top 10. Then behind is MLA, then Praga in this first race at One Hub, and then Odems, and then Elku.
Alrighty, well, we're still on board with this battle because the gap never seems to get any bigger. What can Josh do now? He's got such good, but Jesse's hanging on within that DRS, leaves the door slightly open. But Josh isn't able to do anything with it, and that's exactly why we have this track on regular corner cutting. What Josh just did then was not illegal. It's just racing, and he would have got a warning for that had it been on strict. So that's why at One Hub Racing we choose to change the corner cut setting depending on the track. Obviously the majority, and he goes very wide there. Doesn't gain anything on Jesse, and you know, that's why we want drivers, particularly look at these corners, we want them to be pushing the cars to their max, Alex. And as a driver, is that something that, you know, you enjoy, being able to, you know, race at certain tracks where, you know, corner cutting isn't that bad, and obviously you're allowed to push the cars and the track limits to maximum with it being on regular? Yeah,
I've been here. I joined in season 12. I was actually in the pinnacle tier for that season, and ever since, you know, offside, there's a lot. Obviously, you have to be fair, and you're allowed to be a bit firm in F1 tier sub. You don't just have to. You can go for moves that maybe other leagues maybe wouldn't allow you to, and you're allowed to kind of test.
There's a touch there.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So
Josh surely can't keep that. He's got to hand that one back to Jesse, you would have to say.
He's going to. I don't think he's stopping. No, he's
that was a touch and gained an advantage from it, surely. I imagine that one might end up in the steward's office between those two. Noix just coming up to this battle behind. It's going to be really interesting to see where the top three come out. Ollie has gained about 2 seconds on Francis over the last couple laps, so whether Francis has a problem or or he's just come to the end of those life of those tyres. Either way, they're going to be flying those three at the end of this race.
Yeah, in fact, Ollie's in. I assume we'll see the other three in. No, Francis stays out, and James Slater stays out. So Francis, no, sorry, Ollie, first one to come in. He was in a deep battle with Noak here, and obviously I can't predict what I can. I think he's going to come out ahead of Noak quite comfortably.
We'll have to see. What you forget here is, and I do as well, it's such a long and slow pit lane. 37, miles per hour is what it sets you to. And yeah, I think he's going to get jumped here. Yeah, he's going to get jumped by Noak. But the point is if he comes out ahead of MLA, which I think he will, then he's got clean air, fresh compounded tyres, and he'll be a man on a mission. He's definitely on for points in his first race. Yeah, he's just come out in front of MLA.
That's sensational in the first race.
Speaking of Noak, he's going for a move on Jesse, who's dropped well off Josh already after losing the position to him, I'd say, in my opinion, slightly unfairly. And Noak goes slightly deep, stops the Haas driver turning in, but the Haas driver doesn't seem too interested in fighting round that complex of corners. But he'll follow along nicely now, not too close, otherwise he'll lose a downforce through Cops, and you never know, he might in a position again to give one back down the hangar straight. All drivers using lots of the green runoff area around Cops, and you often see drivers in real life, Alex, taking to that as well.
I think, especially around Cops, if you're in the dirty air of another car, it is so difficult to get the perfect turn in that. The only other way to do it is to use that runoff. Otherwise, you're going to spin the car.
Francis is in. James Slater stays out and takes the lead of the race.
That's good for James Slater. He's had a bit difficult season. Obviously, we had 11 drivers last time in Austria, but I believe he was the 11th in the qualifying. And we've seen a lot better from that from James Slater. He's definitely one of the most fair racers here in F1. Well, sorry, One Hub racing and the prestige here. But seems to be leading a couple laps. He deserves it this year. But one thing I want to turn your attention to is this is almost in the DRS and of Julian. This has not been the best stint from Julian.
No, he's dropped off slightly off McSendit, and you're right, Blizzard's been the quicker of the two. Championship rivals, what they were, they were pointed at towards the beginning of the season. But by the way, if you keep hearing us go to call One Hub Racing a different name, we were formerly known as F1 TS Hub. We're allowed to say that. For a period of time we had to change over due to FOM trademark issues, so One Hub Racing is our new name. I know I almost said it earlier in the podium tier that I commentated it on. It is obviously difficult for us commentators, particularly myself, who've been calling it, running and calling the league F1 TS Hub for the past 5 years. So yeah, if you hear us go to call it that, then just shout at us in the chat and just say no, and we'll know what you mean.
Yeah, we'll know. But yeah, unfortunately I wasn't in that podium race. But this race now, James Slater's in, by the way. But this race, it's going to become interesting because Josh, he obviously hasn't had the most excitement. He's slowly working his way up the field, and he's about to take on. Formerly, is this Retrix? Is Rafa Retrix? Is that right? It is Retrix, isn't it? I checked the standings.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
To be in the correct. So he's taking on Rafa. We all know Retrix. Obviously, this isn't streamed anymore. But last time out in Austria, he won the practice race. So I know he's got a lot of pace. Has Retrix or Rafa, and I think we're going to see another great battle between Josh and Rafa. However, Blizzard is kind of in a stalemate with Julian now. I think Julian notices he needs to get a bit of a move on because he knows what Blizzard and him are like when they get into a battle. So I've just got to wait a few laps for that. But let's send it. Looks very comfortable in the front. And I think he'll love the fact that Blizzard and Julian are about to have another ding-dong battle.
Yeah, definitely. As you mentioned, Rafa, I think he's definitely got the pace. I think, sometimes he just gets a bit nervous. The confidence isn't there. And he's had a good results the last few weeks that have, really, started to build out his confidence. And, he just needs to, enjoy it a little bit as Odems uses a little bit of the runoff area and a little bit more in his Red Bull. But chasing down newcomer Praga into One Hub Racing, so he's currently in 12th position. Had a good scrap with his teammate and really hounding that Williams as far up the grid as he can at the moment. But you know, you have to say, in races, look at James Slater. You know, he's he never gives up. As you mentioned, he's one of the cleanest and fairest drivers we have at One Up Racing, and he just never gives up. No matter what position he's in, he always pushes that car as quick as he can go every single lap, whatever's happened to him earlier in the race.
And I think that's the brilliant point. Obviously, we've seen great talent from PS Hub. Obviously, Odem and other people like that. They love racing here. We all do. It's a great place to race, and we see that in the drivers, the passion. And I think, as Josh goes a little bit into the back end, but the passion drivers have. And although drivers get worried, and it is only at the end of the day, a game. People we want to do well. We want, obviously, this is streamed. We want to show that we have pace. I know as a driver that I put myself under a lot of pressure, especially at the beginning of the season when I was really trying to push for as many points as possible. But I think, in my limited experience, I think it's always best to add a bit of pressure. I don't know what you think, Nick, but I think a bit of pressure always helps you on race day. But I think if you go into it a bit too gently, you'll be a bit surprised by other things happening around you.
I think you need a lovely battle going on between Praga and Odems, by the way, VSR Marcus, and just run a little bit wide. He's going to continue on the hanger straight, get DRS. Odems touches the grass, yellow flag. Francis has retired. Where has that happened? That's on Stowe in the corner. How has he ended up all the way over there? He's had some sort of issue. Lap 20 out of 26. Francis retires from the race. He's left the session straight away. He's not happy with that one. And Praga gets ahead of Odems during that session, during that corner, sorry. And yeah, the battle has really closed up for second place at the moment. The battle's still there for fourth. The battle's there for fifth as well, with Noik just behind. So close, those three, fourth, fifth and sixth. And then you got Ollie closing in on Jesse, with bringing MLA with him on the slower compounder tyre. And James Slater now is in the points, and yeah, going along nicely. So it's all happening here at the final few laps at One Hub Racing. And who's going to finish on the podiums? Who's going to finish top 5? This is the interesting one. Odems gets ahead of Praga side by side through Luffield, and they'll relish this one, that's for sure, even if it's only for 11th place.
Yeah, I think obviously we know Odems. He loves to overtake anyone he can. Obviously he is one of the biggest personalities here at One Hub. You know, he'll take this 11th spot, and he'll keep pushing for the next 6 laps. I don't know whether he will be able to catch James Slater. I think James Slater's a bit too far up the road. But let's talk about the rest of the season, Nick. Noak probably needs to get 4th position here.
Yeah, if he wants a championship challenge, he needs to get as high up the grid as possible. You know, he can't keep finishing behind Julian. He's got to start, you know, beating him on race day. You know, qualifying, let Julian have his moment, but he's got to stop beating him in the race. And yeah, you can't rely on just bad luck. But look at this is so close between all these guys. Ollie and MLA are pretty close. Then you got Rafa, Josh and Noik pretty close, as Elku and Progress into the pit, so that's why he's dropped down to 13th position, and Blizzard obviously on the back of Julian as well. So it's all happening here, Alex.
I'm kind of interested in, because Ollie is on 2 lap old softs, sorry, 5 lap old softs, compared to MLA's 12 lap old mediums. So I don't really know what's going on with Ollie's stint. He seems to be a lot more comfortable on those medium compounds. However, here comes MLA. We all know MLA. He's a fair racer, but he loves to get as many positions as possible. Won the Monaco Grand Prix, and Nick, you obviously watch every race that One Hub put on.
Here comes Noik. Sorry, Alex. Down, but you're right. Monaco was fantastic. So is this move round the outside of Josh, who's going to come out on top as they head towards, and Noik has to run wide there. Back down the inside comes Josh, yeah, and then Noik is still on the inside, so, oh, they touch. You could see that was going to happen. Brilliant save by Josh. I don't think that was totally fair by Noik. He should back out of this one. He's going to run. Josh completely off track. Is he kept it? Oh, he's just about kept it out the back of the Ferrari. That was very, very firm racing, you have to say, from Noak. I don't know on what side of the rule book it was on. Either way, he moves up into 5th position. Josh moves down into 6th as Odems comes into the pits.
I would say that was just about alright. I'd say it's very, very on the limits. But I'd say Josh went for the move. They were side by side going through the straight. I don't think there was much more that one of the drivers could do. So I think that was just fair. But one person that will be loving this is Rafa. He just pulled a almost a 2-second gap now. It's probably good for him to get P4.
Yeah, and look at this. Look how close Blizzard is. If he nails his exit, which he definitely has, he's going to have Julian hit. 100%. This is job done. Julian didn't nail his exit, and Blizzard is about to take 2nd place. Brilliant job, brilliant move. Can Julian hang on and fight back though? That is the main question. As we've got MLA and Ollie still having a ding dong. They head down the hangar straight. It's their turn to see who can go around the outside. MLA can. I've been side by side with MLA through here, and Ollie just gives him a little nudge off track to say, hey, I may be new, but you ain't coming past me that easy. Now MLA returns the favour and gets ahead of him into 8th position, but on those soft tyres, Ollie will have an advantage.
An update is that Blizzard is catching McSendit, and McSendit is not that far down the road because Blizzard pull out a surprise win. We'll have to wait and see now he's in clear air because Julian is dropping back. He's already 5 tenths down. I thought he would have probably seen a comeback quite early on, but when Blizzard was in 2nd position when he first got the impact, there was a 2.8 second gap, which has been halved. With like half a second down, and Blizzard is on a charge.
He's a man on a mission. Once he gets in that groove, there's hardly any stopping him. We're going to have Odems versus Praga round 3 or 4, which we by all means accept and relish the challenge to see those two go at it once again. The closest gap other than those is Ollie and MLA, so Ollie's going to have, this is where he'll gain on the grip. Those let's ride on board with him as he comes through the Maggots and Beckett's complex, and he hasn't nailed his exit. He's going to touch the grass. He will get DRS, but no, he needs to take the first couple corners slightly slower so that he can nail his exit onto this hangar straight, and MLA could be under attack if he's able to do that. Odems passes Praga, and Praga goes back down the inside. A little bit of grass though, and that's going to affect his exit. That's pretty much job done. Julian hasn't given up just yet, has he?
He's kind of stuck with Blizzard. Obviously I don't want to get anyone's hopes on it, but could we take a 3-way fight for the lead towards the very, very probably last lap? Because Blizzard obviously is not catching tremendously, but there was I think a 7 tenths difference from this point onwards from last lap. So obviously he's very much more comfortable on his tyres than McSendit. I think McSendit might just be alright with the gap, but who knows.
We've already seen a last lap move tonight in the Pinnacle tier, the tier just below this, but are we going to see something here tonight as well as Julian runs wide, tries to get as much of attacking, and Odem sets the fastest lap. He pitted probably just so we could give him a shout out on stream. Had we not mentioned that he'd done that on stream, I'd have an earful in our admin chat afterwards. So there you go, Odem, shout out to you, fastest lap, well done. Mate, and yeah, Julian touches the dirt there under braking, doesn't affect him too much. Both cars going very wide, has to be said. And if the stewards decide to look at the stream, and obviously, you know, Jono does watch the stream every week because we do the talk show on Sundays at 9:30, then he will penalise drivers who repeatedly, and Blizzard actually touched the grass there. Look at this, he's lost momentum, and Julian's going to go back down the inside. We're on the penultimate lap here, and look at this, Blizzard holds it. He's going to go back down the inside, and Julian's just going to get run out to the curb, but he's going to get a better exit than Blizzard, and suddenly McSendit goes, I've got this in the bag again.
Yeah, I think we're going to see obviously not a race-long battle, but there was contact!
There's definitely contact there.
Contact.
I don't know what it was, but it was a strange contact. It was kind of like a jump, almost. And I think Blizzard has let Julian back through, or there's some sort of lag involved. Yeah, Julian says thank you, so I presume that's what just happened there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's exactly what went on. So great respect between those two, even though they are racing on the absolute limit.
Yeah, I think that just shows the caliber of racers we have here in the Prestige tier. As here we go, DRS enabled. He wasn't overtake mode, no, he's in low DRS deploy. He's going to stick it around the outside. Easy. I don't know what happened with Julian there. He goes completely off the circuit.
Yeah, you have to say he definitely gained the advantage from doing that. I think he went in too deep, and Julian would have had a better run at him. So I imagine the stewards might be looking at that one when they rewatch this race, but let's not focus on that. The battle isn't over yet. McSendit is on his final lap, leads by almost 4 seconds now. These two, second and third, what order are they going to finish on? We've got 2 DRS zones to get decided. The McLaren is so close behind as well, and Noek just behind him. Is he going to break into DRS zone before the end of this race? Otherwise, it looks pretty set down the order. Praga isn't that far off of Odem, so keeping him honest down the back in 12th and 13th place. But this is the one we're going to watch, Alex.
It's like genuinely, we've got, I'd say, one more overtaking opportunity down towards the end of the lap. Julian goes wide, so that's not going to help his runs, but hopefully he's obviously in that slipstream of Blizzard. Will it help him? There's only a 3 cut gap. Blizzard touches the grass. That's not going to help his exit.
We got a beautiful helicopter shot. Exactly what we want. Oh, they must have heard me. They switched off it as we head down towards Stowe. Looks like Blizzard's got it. Noek's in the background handing down the McLaren, but I don't think he can do it. McSendit's going to come across the line to win this race. Is Julian going to dive anything down? He thinks about it, but Blizzard covers him off. McSendit comes across the line. His first race back at One Hub Racing, and he wins for Renault. Blizzard takes second place. Julian takes third position. Rafa takes fourth. Another good result for him. Noek in fifth. Look how close the top 5 were at the end of the race. Top 6, you have to say. You know, Josh has finished. Jesse's finished. You won't have to wait too long for this race to be over. MLA takes the checkered flag, as does Ollie. Congratulations to him in his first One Hub Racing race. James Slater is going to be in the points after briefly leading this one. And then you've got Elku, Odems and Praga still to finish this race outside the points. Francisco Fielder, and this is Wayne, obviously failed to finish.
Odems just cut the corner. Odems just cut the corner. He's let Praga through. I don't know what happened there, but Odems was a little jerk by Odems, just letting Praga finish the race in front. Odems also, I believe, the only person to pick up it. Odems cuts the corner again! I don't know what's going on, but I believe Odems is the only person to pick up a penalty, so he's gonna finish last no matter what. He breaks his tower line. Odems, what a character. I bet he's happy we've hit that up on stream as well.
There you go. You're on stream, Odems. You got some airtime, but I'm afraid all my time has to go for McSendit. He has won the podium. He's going to get a taste of champagne here tonight in the Prestige tier. This is round 10. McSendit's arrived at One Hub Racing, everyone, and the 2 men either side of him are going to look up and say, we've got another challenger.
Very much so, and also Blizzard getting in front of Julian, he'll be happy with that. That'll give the confidence to going into the next one. Julian, no, I don't think he'll be too disheartened, but that's the man on top. McSendit, what a race by him. Joins the league and stamps his authority immediately. Good job.
Good job indeed. Well done to all those who finished the race. We'll run through the official order. McSendit takes the win. Blizzard in second. Julian third. Rafa in fourth. Noek in fifth. Sixth is Josh. Seventh is Jesse after starting on pole. Ninth is MLA. 8th is MLA, 9th is Ollie in his first race, 10th is James Slater inside the points, Elku is in 11th position, Praga in 12th in his first race, Odin picks up a penalty and finishes 13th after lap 1 incidents. Our DNFs are Francisco Fielder and this is Wayne. There we have it, another night at One Hub Racing done. It's been so good to be back after the Christmas break and the first races of 2019. Many more to come in this year on 2018 to finish this season off. Another season, of course, on this game, and then we head on to 2019, which we hope to be some improvements. But for now, McSendit, he's arrived on the scene and he's here to take some money.
Very much so. I don't think you could give a warning any different way than just going out there and being faster than everyone else on circuit. I don't think he ever looked weak at any point in that race, to be fair.
He's a force to be reckoned with, and this is the Prestige tier. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies we missed qualifying. Jack was running late, so I jumped in, and myself and Alex took the reins here for tonight. So well done to Jesse, who got pole position, so we have to give him a shout out as we missed his qualifying session. But Alex, thank you very much for joining me again tonight at Prestige tier. Thank you to all the drivers who took part in the races, and everyone who's watched, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at OneHub Racing. And of course, you can check out our website where you can find information how to sign up at www.onehubracing.com. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back next week.